Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D-Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love.
I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child. You know, dating her at the age of 30-some years old, and she's 17, 18 years old.
The conversation around Jay-Z and Beyoncé has quickly become one of the most talked about topics in entertainment, growing far beyond the light joke that started it. What seemed harmless at first sparked deeper speculation, with many feeling a line had been crossed involving two of music's most respected figures. Known for their discipline, artistry, and commitment to privacy, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have long shaped culture through carefully crafted projects and appearances. But after a symbolic video surfaced mocking another artist's controversy, audiences began reading into it, suggesting hidden meanings tied to past industry events. Once Beyoncé's name entered the mix, the narrative shifted dramatically, fueling far more discussion than anyone anticipated.
I want you to open that up because I want you to be able to make the face that you really want to make. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, open it now. Go ahead, open it now. You ain't gotta wait. Ain't nobody gonna take nothing from you. Oh no, he did. No, he did.
Thank you.
No, you ain't know you gotta count that thing.
Go ahead. Count up. Let me hold your
You
envelope.
gotta always pay your taxes.
Huh? Oh no, he didn't do that. I'ma hand him them little 520s. He's gonna be like, nah, big dog. Now Uncle Diddy, he gonna hey.
You a legend already. You have Diddy these racks.
Yeah, you know.
$1,000.
I just counted.
Yeah. I was trying to throw you the path just in case.
They explained everything that Puff did. Diddy, as y'all know him as. Everything he did as far as the drug trafficking, having people bring him drugs, having people kidnapped, taken from their home, sitting up for hours in warehouses being given polygraph tests, beating of women, holding women over balconies. They prove that he bribed witnesses, tried to give certain people money. I guess it's not a bribery since there was no criminal charges, brought up prior to that. That's what the defense tried to say. But offering people money, selling lawsuits, things that he wasn't supposed to be guilty of, but he quick to settle them, quick to offer people money. The prosecution did that whole thing. They went through that whole gambit. Ain't nobody paying nobody no money if they ain't guilty of nothing. Not him. It was a lot of things that the prosecution did their job into showing us. Not only this guy's not a good guy, this guy behavior is detrimental to society.
To understand the current situation, it helps to revisit Diddy's conviction. After years of rumors and legal battles, he was found guilty on 2 counts related to unlawful transportation, raising long-standing concerns about his private conduct and secretive gatherings within his inner circle. Prosecutors claimed he used his wealth and influence to orchestrate events that were not only inappropriate but deeply troubling, with reports of hotels prepped in advance and every detail tightly controlled. While his legal team pushed back against the claims, the public scrutiny had already taken hold, leaving a lasting shadow over his reputation.
Just trying to enjoy this life.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. I'm proud of you. I love you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
When the artist posted a video pouring bottles of baby oil onto the sidewalk, many assumed it was just a joke, until the timing suggested otherwise. Dropping while Diddy's trial dominated headlines, fans saw it as a possible jab at the scandal. The moment quickly shifted once social media users started linking past associations with Diddy, turning a playful stunt into a wave of theories that went far beyond its original intent.
Because if he said that's happening, that's what's going on. Let me stick on this, man. Because if Gene Bill start crying, what the baby gonna do? We should have our rights too. Lil Nas, for doing that, should be canceled. If that's the case. Because I'm sure that offended some people that are heterosexual. Mario Sanchez out there in Illinois. Thanks for tapping in. Torrance Avon. He said him and his son was offended. Yeah, come on, man. And it's all right for you to feel like that, Torrance. Torrance. Torrance or Terrence? It was Torrance. Torrance Avon. It's all right for you to feel like that. And nobody should, because you feel like that, nobody should be mad at you because you feel like that. But these people want to get mad at people that are because they don't agree with that lifestyle. That's all right. I have a right not to agree with that.
This is where the story gets tangled. For years, unverified claims circulated online suggesting that various well-known figures had attended Diddy's exclusive gatherings, with some calling them routine industry meetups, and others portraying them as more mysterious, though none were ever proven. As attention on Diddy's situation grew, the line between rumour and fact blurred, and the artist who posted the symbolic video became part of the conversation. Unexpectedly, Beyoncé's name surfaced as old photos, past collaborations, and vague theories recirculated, leading some fans to interpret the video as commentary on anyone who had crossed paths with Diddy, not based on confirmed facts. Given Beyoncé's reputation for discipline and privacy, her supporters quickly dismissed the speculation, while others claimed Jay-Z subtly redirected the conversation, not to confirm the rumors, but to stop unfounded stories from spinning further out of control.
Been around for a long time. Was there when he first started dating Beyonce at 17, 18, he was 30-something. You didn't know his age. I look back and see how old Jay-Z was. I think Jay-Z was born in like 69 or 67. Something like that, 67 right there? 69. I think he was born in 69. Beyonce, they said she was born in 81. You understand? But back then, in 81, when we was in the club together, 98, 99, she wasn't even supposed to be in the club, but she was in the club. It was Club Eugene's. And Jay was dating her. And at that time, if you look at Jay's age, he was about 30 years old. So, isn't she still somewhat a child? To me, she is. But I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child. Dating her at the age of 30-something years old, and she's 17, 18 years old. If that's her true age. We really don't know her true age because Gabrielle Union said she went to junior high school with her, and Gabrielle Union is considered 6-7 years older than Beyonce age that she getting. So we really don't know. You know what I'm saying? But to get back to your letter, I believe that the lawyer was doing what he did, and he threw shade at Puff in the interim of that by saying that all celebrities, you may think all celebrities are alike, you know what I'm saying? He know he's under this situation with Puff. But you got to look at this right here. They sent him a letter. Busby sent him a letter for two reasons, I believe. To open up the floodgate, just like that 1-800 bad boy number did, and people start calling in saying what Puff did to them. Because he already had that information from that person when they first did the suit against Puff. She made those allegations back then. So he sent him a letter saying, yo, listen to me, man. Hey, let's not let this go anywhere. Pay this off and we can walk away from it. And for what we know and what we've heard, that the girl information may not be totally right. Because I know in 2000, what she just said, and me being there and around, I know the atmosphere, I know the players, and I know how we moved and how we didn't move. You understand what I'm saying? So now, I know what she said about 2000 was wrong. I don't know, I'm not talking about what actually happened to her. I can't speak on what actually happened to her, but I can speak on the atmosphere that what she spoke on and how she got there. It wasn't happening. So now, to get back, they sent Jay this letter. Jay, nah, that ain't me. Got with his lawyers and everything. His lawyers wrote that shit up, and now he presenting to the people like he wrote it. Everybody know that if he's stealing rhymes and he's stealing bars, I know that's your man, Mighty. But you know there's a lot of bars and a lot of rhymes he done stole from people.
When the final verdict in Diddy's trial was announced, it shifted the tone of the entire entertainment world. News that one of hip-hop's most influential figures had been found guilty on federal transportation charges stunned the industry and marked a decisive moment. Diddy received a 50-month sentence after being convicted on 2 counts under the Mann Act, and the ruling carried an impact far beyond the courtroom. For years, there had been ongoing conversations and speculation about his private behavior, but now a jury had determined that elements of the long-circulating concerns held legal weight, turning whispers into a defining moment that reshaped public perception.
Man, looking at these pictures, Diddy in court, the artist got him, you know, looking at these pictures with Diddy in court, bruh, the artist got him crying. The artist got a hold in his head. The artist got him dropping to his knees at the time of the verdict, crying on the chair. My heart goes out and it says, come and feed them beans. I can care less about his sadness. I can care less about him being in pain. I can care less about what he has to be faced with in court or in jail now. I don't have no remorseful feelings for him, bro. You understand? This is somebody that at one time I would have given my own life for. And to know this was trying to get people to take my life because I was trying to teach them to be right by people and tell them to be right by people. I have no remorse for this dude, bro. To see him like that, I know there is a God. And you can feel all the way you want to feel about me. You can say whatever you want to say about me. But karma is a mother. And if it ever gets back to you when you have done somebody wrong, not just me, I'm not saying me. I'm saying when you have done people wrong, you have done Loads of people wrong. To see him on his knees begging like that, I would say something, but the LGBT community will be after me. So you'll never hear me say it, so I don't want to get in trouble with it. But bruh, I'm happier than the barrel of to see him like that.
What stood out most was the sudden silence from many of Diddy's former associates. People who once praised him now kept their distance, unwilling to be tied to his downfall. Anyone who had attended his events or private gatherings faced renewed scrutiny as social media users sifted through old photos, clips, and interviews to trace his circle. Trial details intensified the discussion, with witnesses describing tightly controlled environments that blurred the line between influence and misconduct, alleging monitoring, pressure, and an atmosphere discouraging anyone from speaking out. While Diddy's legal team argued that many statements were exaggerated or taken out of context, public perception had already been shaped by a mix of testimony, speculation, and years of lingering uncertainty.
To see him like that, I know God is good. And God showed him. He can make you, he can break you. And I'ma say it again. You might get flagged for this. I'm happier than a barrel of bruh. Don't you see the smile on my face? Bruh, I'ma be totally honest with you. I don't have no sympathy at all. 'Cause I know he can play all the games he want to play. Did he have sympathy when he said, I don't give a f if Pac gotta die. I don't give a f if Big gotta die. Suge Knight can go to jail. Did he have any sympathy when he said to Wolf, I don't need you no more? Meech said, I don't need you no more. Set him off. Do you have sympathy when he told D. Ferg, nah, I can't do that. Nah, I don't with you. Nah, I can't do that like that. Do you have sympathy when he said to Wolf Mama, your son has delusions of grandeur. All he want to do is smoke weed and get high. Do you have sympathy for the notorious Big Mama? Talking about, I didn't go to the funeral. He ain't go to the funeral. Did he have sympathy for Craig Mack? Did he have sympathy for Black Rob to make sure he did the right thing by them? And he sure didn't have no damn sympathy for me when he told dudes to come at me. So looking at those pictures, bruh, I could tell you just like this.
In the aftermath of the verdict, people began questioning who else might have understood what was unfolding behind the scenes. And that's when speculation resurfaced around other high-profile names, including Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Online users started revisiting old photos and past business ties, suggesting they had once operated within the same broader industry circles. The verdict amplified everything, turning casual gossip into debates about judgment, reputation, and proximity. Who stood with Diddy during his rise, and who quietly stepped back when serious allegations began to surface. Jay-Z and Beyoncé found themselves pulled into the conversation not because of any evidence against them, but simply because of their long-standing privacy and refusal to engage in rumors. Then, when a symbolic video appeared at a moment when Diddy's conviction dominated every platform, viewers interpreted its timing as adding fuel to an already sensitive narrative, reading into it meanings that reflected conversations the public had already been whispering about.
And if there's one thing I can tell you about Sean Carter, being embarrassed and being rejected are things he does not handle well. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're crazy. He didn't do anything to Big L. He didn't do anything to Lamont Coleman. But I think people tend to forget, if Dame had successfully signed Lamont to Rockefeller, we wouldn't even know about Reasonable Doubt. It would have stayed a cult classic, probably sold 750,000. If Lamont Coleman had signed to Rockefeller, he would have been the star. He's always removed anything that can make him look as average as he is. I don't know how many times they used to tell the story, oh, he has a photographic memory. He remembers all of his lyrics, yet he's always had a teleprompter in the floor at his shows. That's why he would always sit down and look down at make it look like he was looking at his shoes. No, he was reading the lyrics. He is a magician. Everything you see about him is an illusion. But what he loves most is controlling youth.
Well, that was something Nas said way back, saying, yeah, he was indulging with these back with R. Kelly.
And I wish I hadn't signed paperwork. And I wish I hadn't taken money. I wish.
Well, there's a lot of it you can't say.
Everybody else that didn't. I spent my time collecting these people. And they will have their day, and we will all get justice.
But what's crazy to me is, like, I don't see how anyone can come after you and call you crazy when we're going through it. And this is Aaliyah, Rihanna, Beyonce. There's a history of these.
Inga Marchand, also known as Foxy Brown, one of his first female artists, who was the little cousin of DJ Clark Kent, who just passed away from some cancer we didn't even know he had.
Now, she's denying it, but many say it's because she signed an NDA. Is that why?
Well, she did sign an NDA, and he's still paying her and her mother's bills right now. If anyone should be ashamed, it should be Inga. All of those diseases that she contracted from all of that unprotected with him. And I'm not saying alleged. You say allegedly. I'm not, because I know it to be true. She had with my cousin right after that. She burned him. She set the numbers for the CDC in Philly on a new high at 15, 16, 17 years old. She was running all around Philadelphia because Jay-Z promised her that they could be, normal when she wasn't with Corrupt. Corrupt was her fake boyfriend, which is why when they tried to use her to say that she was actually in the car and there with Keepy D and all of that, I'm like, that girl wasn't even...
Many believe the tension escalated immediately after the verdict, creating a moment where anyone even loosely connected to Diddy faced a choice: speak, stay silent, or distance themselves entirely. In that charged atmosphere, Jay-Z's name began to surface. Known for his strategic approach, he rarely reacts impulsively, and every move he makes is purposeful. Over decades, he has cultivated relationships with some of the most powerful figures in music, business, and politics, and he knows how to protect what he has built, including his wife's legacy. According to online discussions and industry observers, what concerned Jay-Z was not a single moment, but the ripple effects of public speculation. Once Beyoncé's name was drawn into conversations surrounding Diddy, it became a serious issue because even without evidence, the internet can amplify rumors and impact reputations almost instantly.
Brand new lawsuit that is naming Jay-Z, Beyonce, and LeBron James as witnesses of a freak-off. And this is not an April Fool's joke. This lawsuit was actually filed in court today. And it has other defendants listed with Diddy that I'm sure you've heard of before, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. This lawsuit was filed by a man named Joseph Manzaro against Diddy, another man named Eric, Brendan Paul, which is Diddy's alleged substance mule that got arrested after Diddy was raided, Emilio Estefan, and Adria English, the woman that filed the lawsuit against Diddy, who worked as a dancer during Diddy's white parties. This man is alleging that he was given substances and then transported against his will and was a victim of an organized criminal enterprise beginning in 2015, organized and
In Hollywood, threats often come quietly, through missed calls, cancelled meetings, or opportunities that suddenly vanish. Some observers believe that those subtle consequences became clear when a public joke spread farther than intended, drawing unwanted attention. Whispers suggested that Jay-Z quietly signaled that he did not want Beyoncé's name linked to such discussions. For any artist navigating a delicate moment in their career, that kind of silent pushback can be powerful, reshaping opportunities and influence without a single public statement, and serving as a reminder of how carefully reputations are protected behind the scenes.
Because Beyonce has a deal there, and they know I know her. So, but
how long have you known her?
Wow, a long time.
How long? 10 years?
How long? However long she's been recording. That's when I met her.
Well, don't you remember how long it was?
Yeah, when I met her. I mean,
was it 5 years ago? Was it?
I met her 10 years ago. But
did you say to yourself at that time, "Wow"?
That's a fantastic talent.
Was that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, because
you saw talent before you saw anything else.
Because she was singing like a rapper.
While all of this unfolded, Beyoncé remained focused on her music and performances, including a standout appearance in Paris on her Cowboy Carter tour, where Jay-Z made a surprise stage appearance to celebrate their 2-decade-long bond. Together, they reminded the world why they are considered royalty in entertainment. Yet behind the scenes, the conversation never fully disappeared. Rumors linked to Diddy's past social circles continued to resurface, prompting speculation about the nature of Jay-Z and Beyoncé's connections.
It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the Diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
guess they on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think that the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
No, you're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
Yes.
a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore.
Were they close friends, professional contacts, or part of a larger network the public didn't fully see? Importantly, there is no evidence tying them to any wrongdoing, but in the court of public opinion, silence often fuels curiosity and theories. Jay-Z's measured responses could simply reflect a careful effort to protect his family's legacy, ensuring that decades of work and influence aren't impacted by speculation or unfounded narratives.